what's going on, everybody? Welcome to After Prison Show, and today I want to give you guys an update on Bill Cosby in prison. We first addressed this situation last week where he got sentenced to 3 to 10 years and he was then arrested and taken to start serving that time. I mentioned some things in that video that I first want to say I told you so about Bill Cosby living like a boss in prison. I told you guys he was going to fare pretty well. Now, he did have a situation where allegedly some sort of a stale hot dog bun was thrown at him. He also fell down some stairs, it was reported. He was making a phone call to his wife that was overheard where he was complaining that they took his shoelaces, his tie, and also his cane. Bill, in certain situations, you can't have shoelaces. It's crazy. They'll give you your shoes, but they won't give you the laces. How you going to keep your shoes on if you ain't got the laces? It's a security situation. They take those laces in some facilities because they don't want you to hurt yourself or possibly try to hurt anybody else. But with those things that I've mentioned right there, those are pretty much the only bad things that have happened to him thus far. I don't know the whole falling down the stairs situation. I don't know how drastic that was. Did he fall down an entire set of steel stairs because that's the type of stairs that they have while locked up? Boy, if he did so, oh, you was all sorts of banged up. But he probably just slipped and stumbled a little bit due to the fact that they took his laces and his cane. Lace up, Bill. Lace up. You're locked up. It's time to lace up. Look, I gotta say this as well. With me giving you guys these updates on the Bill Cosby story and also another story that you guys are really gonna want to hear about as well, I need to let you know this. You know, I am the prison specialist. I consider myself somewhat funny, and I try to make content that's funny. So forgive me if it comes across the wrong way. I do try to tell you guys very insightful information in a somewhat humorous way. I just wanted to kind of clarify that. I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression about what I do here. I talk about very serious stuff, all in relation to prison. Me being someone who served most of my life locked up, I am most certainly that that prison specialist. I've got quite a bit of experience on this. They need to put me on CNN or somewhere, on Talk Soup, whatever one of those shows are that discuss current events. I think I would make a potentially good panel guest. But folks, let me give you an update on the Bill Cosby situation, how time has been like for him since getting locked up. It's been about a week now, and in this time, he's been faring pretty well, minus those few things that I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Oh, and I also have to say something else as well. Bill Cosby, prisoner number NN7687. That number is going to be very important throughout however much time that you serve. When you go to fill out your commissary bubble sheet or however you do that, you're going to have to type in that NN7687. When you make your phone calls or write any letters or receive any mail, all of that is only going to be possible through use of that prisoner identification number. Now, where Bill Cosby is at SCI Phoenix in Pennsylvania. This is a maximum security prison that holds almost 4,000 prisoners. But even with the fact that this is a maximum security prison, don't think for a second they're gonna have prisoner NN7687 around all of that maximum security stuff. No, the reason that he's here is because this is also a special needs prison, meaning that you've either got dudes here with sensitive type charges over there in protective custody somewhere, or they're being housed here for medical purposes, such as geriatric prisoners, meaning old prisoners. Exactly what Bill Cosby is. He's 81 years old and also considered legally blind. He is definitely going to be housed when he makes it into general population in one of these medical cell blocks. That's a guarantee. He ain't going nowhere else. Ain't no prison staff going to be putting old Bill Cosby in a maximum security cell block. They ain't going to be responsible for anything that might happen to him. I can guarantee you, when Bill does get into population, he's going to be all right. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who don't want to hear that. I know there's a lot of people who think that this man is a monster. Everyone is entitled to their opinions. I think that he is as well. If you did what they accused you of doing, they obviously found you guilty in court. You deserve to be locked up. You do. The prison is staffed by 1,200 full-time employees and features 164 acreage inside its double ring of razor wire fences and its 1.5 mile perimeter. This is a pretty big place that he's at. Obviously so, if it holds almost 4,000 prisoners. The biggest prisons that I've ever been to only hold a little bit more than 1,000 prisoners. I can't imagine being anywhere locked up where you've got almost 4,000 prisoners at that place. That is a huge complex to be serving time at. And with the fact that it is such a big facility, you can guarantee that they're gonna have maximum security, go hard areas over here, sensitive need prisoners over here, and the old heads back here in the corner somewhere, safe and sound, tucked away. Upon arrival to this facility, prison staff went ahead and assessed Bill Cosby's physical, medical, and also security needs That's what they're going to do anytime they lock up anybody. That's nothing special that they did for him. Anytime that you go to a jail, anytime that you go to a prison, anytime that you transfer to a different facility, that's the first thing they're going to do. It's called intake, or it's called classification. You go there, they might take some blood. They might check your blood pressure. They might ask you how you're feeling. Are you happy? Are you sad? Do you want to hurt yourself? Do you have any enemies when you talk about that security need? With the fact that Bill Cosby is a celebrity, no matter how disgraced and tarnished he might be out here in society, he is still a celebrity overall who could potentially have additional security requirements. And with mentioning that, Corrections Secretary John Witzel, probably mispronounced that, said last week that the prison is taking all of the necessary precautions to ensure Cosby's safety. And again, no matter how you might feel about this, what you feel this man deserves, ultimately it is the responsibility of this correctional facility to ensure this man's safety. Yes, they have to lock him up and make sure that he remains locked up, but they also got to make sure he's going to be okay in there. Now, don't get me wrong. There are so many more cases than you can even begin to imagine where, that's not always the case, where a prison definitely can't ensure a prisoner's safety, whether they end up harming themselves, getting harmed by somebody else, or even worse. But let's get more toward what I've titled this video, saying that Bill Cosby's gonna be living like a boss in prison. It's been reported that throughout this last week, he's been spending this time making friends. Now, he hasn't been released into population, so they say. He's been housed in a single cell. He has been allowed out of that cell, and it even says that he's being escorted around the prison, touring the prison, thanks to his very own personal aide. I just wanted to let that sink in for a moment, and I know some of you are probably thinking, what in the world? How does this man have a personal aide while he's locked up? As crazy as that sounds, that is actually a prison job that prisoners can get. Meaning that these prisoners, their job is to aid elderly prisoners or prisoners who are in wheelchairs. Their job could be to push that guy around to medical or wherever he needs to go. And guess what? This prisoner personal aide job, this is a pretty high-paying job in terms of prison jobs. I mean, it ain't gonna sound like much to anybody who doesn't know this, but these guys could make like 45 cents, maybe even more an hour. 45 cents an hour to do any job don't sound like a good job. Well, in terms of prison pay, it's better than making 15 cents or 20 cents or 27. 45 and up, you're getting more towards your better paying prisoner jobs. The story says Bill Cosby has reportedly been spending his first week in prison making friends with staffers and touring the Pennsylvania facility with his personal guide. Where is this dude? You said this was a maximum security prison that houses almost 4,000 prisoners. This joint sounds a lot more like Sandals Resort. Doesn't really sound like Bill's having too tough of a time, and I'm not honestly sure that he will. And I just want to share this as well. When they do finally move Bill Cosby to the general population cell block that he'll be put in eventually, which is probably going to be one of these medical geriatric cell blocks with other older prisoners, I got a feeling this dude's going to be respected in here, and also his time ain't going to be that bad at all. And I'll even go as far as to say what I think Bill Cosby's prison hustle is going to be. Y'all might think it's getting his pudding pushed in, but that ain't what I'm thinking at all. That was funny. Go! Getting his pudding pushed in? Oh my God! I mean, you got to give me that one. That one was pretty good. Legitimately, and all jokes aside, what I feel like this man's prison hustle is going to be is going to be signing things for other prisoners. Bill Cosby, sir, could you sign these shower shoes for me so I can send them home? I'm going to put them on eBay. That's what I'm going to do. You might think that sounds crazy. You might think, who would he... Ain't nobody gonna pay no money for Bill Cosby to sign anything. Prison is gonna be an entirely different world for this man. Yes, this man has horrible charges, but ain't nobody gonna be thinking about that. They're gonna be thinking about the fact they locked up with Bill Cosby. And anything that they get Bill Cosby to sign, that's gonna automatically become some Bill Cosby prison memorabilia and merchandise. And best believe what I tell you, within the coming months, I can't guarantee exactly how long it'll take. I don't wanna make this guarantee because there's a potential it doesn't happen, but it wouldn't surprise me if you start seeing some Bill Cosby signed items on eBay for sale. You're probably thinking to yourself, well, if it is, who would buy that? I'll tell you who would. I'll buy it. I will buy it. And then I'll make a video about it, an unboxing video, unboxing Bill Cosby's prison memorabilia, or unboxing something from Bill Cosby in prison. You think it might be crazy? Watch how many people would tune in to see that. But I just wanted to share that little update with you guys as far as what things are looking like for Bill. It's not looking too bad for Bill. Seems like he's eating pretty well and he's making friends. He's even calling home, telling his wife that the staffers are treating him with respect in there. So it's not going to surprise me if before long this dude living like a boss while locked up. They're gonna have everything. Commissaries full up, making the store every single week. Hey, Bill, you got a icy white honey bun I can get? Boy, Bill, you my main man, Bill. You make commissary every week and you look out for the cookout. Bill ain't gonna have no problems. And if he does, let me tell you this. If Bill Cosby has any problems while locked up with any other prisoners, trust and believe me, somebody gonna be there for Bill. Somebody gonna protect him. And he might pay for that protection, but I can guarantee you that protection is gonna protect him. Moving on, let's talk about something entirely different and let's lighten the mood a little bit. It was just reported that over in Dublin at a place called Wheatfield Prison, that an inmate had Chinese food delivered to him via a drone. Ladies and gentlemen, there is so much to tell you about in relation to this story, and there's not even that much that's reported with this story, but I'm gonna make this brief. An inmate used a drone to get some Chinese delivery. If that doesn't symbolize boss status while locked up, I don't know what does. I mean, imagine this. This prisoner talking to the other prisoners like, hey, what y'all making over there? Y'all got some ramen soups? Y'all crushing them up, ain't y'all so basic eating you a prison spread or a prison log or a prison swole? I ain't eating none of that. Not today, I ain't. Bzzz. Thank you. Got me a lunch special number 7 right here, delivered via drone. Boy, you a boss. You a boss. Forget the contraband. I mean, you probably already had that delivered to you as well, the cell phones and all the other illegal stuff that you're not allowed to have. But now you're pushing it to the max. Boy, you is the man for real. You ain't eating that jail food. You stunting on them dudes. You're stunting on them, meaning you're showing off. You're gloating. Eating Chinese food delivered to you via drone. And you know what's even more impressive about this story than the actual headline, an inmate who got Chinese food delivered to him via drone, is in Dublin. Is this what they doing with their Chinese restaurants? When you call up to order that lunch special number 7, are they giving you the option? Is this for pickup, delivery, or drone flyby? Because if that's the case, if you've got Chinese restaurants over there in Dublin where you can get your Chinese delivered via drone, oh, y'all big. Oh, y'all big time. Y'all stunting on the rest of the world. Y'all stunting on Amazon. Amazon, the CEO of that company who is worth now over $1 trillion. They ain't even delivering things on Amazon yet via drone. All of this is still in the developmental stage. You got a Chinese restaurant delivering Chinese food via a drone. And you got a prisoner who getting it delivered to him while he locked up. Now, let me just say this. I'm not exactly sure whether or not they have a restaurant like that in Dublin that does this. I can't even imagine how that would be possible. But then again, 10 years ago, I didn't think Amazon would be possible. And they've done shut down almost every mall in America. Sears is gone, Kmart, Rose's, Farm Fresh. They the Illuminati for real, folks. I'm not entirely believing that there is a Chinese restaurant doing this. I'm pretty sure it was whoever this guy has on the outside with this drone who duct taped this lunch special number 7 to the bottom of that Phantom 3 and then flew it over the prison and dropped it off to him on the rec yard. I'm pretty sure it was something along those lines how this guy was getting this Chinese food delivered to him. And the reason that authorities would catch wind of this is because they were finding the wrapper, the boxes, the empty Chinese food boxes or the cartons all over the prison. Dude, if you were smart enough to be getting all sorts of stuff delivered to you, including Chinese delivery, you better eat them boxes. You better tear them up into little itty bitty pieces of paper and flush it down. You gotta get rid of that. You got to be smarter than that, man. You got to be. And there's one other thing to throw into this that just adds a little more intrigue to all of this, and that is at this Wheatfield prison in Dublin. And you know, this is one of the only institutions I've ever heard about having anything like this. I've heard of other institutions that have cell phone and drone jamming radars or whatever you would call it. I've heard of prisons having that. But this place in particular is the only place that I've ever heard of that actually has nets across the top of the rec yard. From fence to fence, they got nets to prevent against this type of thing happening in the first place. So if it is true that this guy was getting this Chinese food delivered to him via some sort of a DJI Phantom 3 or 4, how exactly was this getting dropped off to him if they've got nets across the top of the rec yard? You know, this also raises the cause for speculation that it could have been a guard, some sort of staff member who was bringing this to him. Could have been easier to take that lunch number 7 box, that carton of Chinese food, and hit it. Totally kidding when I say that. I was trying to be funny and that one probably missed horribly. But you know, there is the potential that it's a staff member bringing it to him and it's not a drone. I mean, let's be for real, folks. Not even Amazon is using drones to deliver things yet. At least, I don't think they are. I think they're still testing that, right? You guys let me know if you know anything about that. Hey, look, that's it. I just wanted to share these two crazy prison stories with you guys, and I hope you got something insightful and also interesting from these. And if you did so, please leave a comment and a like on this video letting me know exactly what you thought about it. As always, until next time, enjoy life, the free world. Never take a moment for granted and make the most of every day. Peace!